Hey, hi.
Is my voice clearly audible to you?
Yeah, just a second.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Um, just a minute. So, Saurabh, how are you doing?
yeah. I'm fine. How are you?
Okay. So first, let me introduce myself to you, and then we will be moving ahead with the interview. Okay.
Yo.
Okay. So first of all, welcome to the interview, Saurabh, and I will be conducting your interview today. I have been working as a full stack developer for over 9+ years now. Throughout my career, I had the opportunity to work across entire stack, from building complex React application with modern state management pattern to design scalable Node.js microservices and working with various database and cloud infrastructures. One of my projects I have recently worked on involved building a real-time collaboration platform, which gave me a deep experience with WebSockets, conflict resolution algorithms, and optimizing for performance at scale. Yeah, I have also contributed to several open source projects and mentor numerous of juniors and mid-level developers in their career growth. So yeah, that's a small introduction about myself. So Saurabh, today I'm particularly excited to discuss your experience and approach to problem solving. Having seen both sides of the table as a candidate and now as an interviewer, I believe the best interviews are conversation where we explore our thought process and understanding of fundamental concepts. This will be a discussion-based interview where we will be covering various technical topics like Python, React, database, communication and articulation, learnability, and coachability. These all will be the section I will be judging you today, and we will be driving deep into the theoretical concepts, how you approach real world development challenges. I'm interested in understanding how you think, your thought process, and not just what answers you know. So we will be taking notes throughout like I will be taking notes throughout our conversation, but please don't let that distract you. If anything isn't clear or you need me to repeat any questions, feel free to ask the questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Saurabh. So before we move ahead, Saurabh, I just want to make sure that is your screen is shifted from introduction phase to interview phase.
I am BTech graduate in Information Technology from Triple IT Allahabad. Currently, I am working as a software engineer intern at Grow in Bangalore, where I focus on building end-to-end feature for data-intensive financial products. So my work primarily involve backend and platform service, including microservices deployment, API design, and performance optimization. So I have contributed to important my projects like future chart integrations and FNO ROI analyst, where I handle data processing, API efficiency, and production grade edge case handlings. I also contribute closely with front-end team to ensure smooth integration and some make small UI change to support feature delivery. Before this, I interned at Eltrix, where I developed a Python-based diagnostic system that is Snowflake, Redshift, and Databricks to validate connectivity and reduce troubleshoot time.
Okay. Um. So, what's the year of experience you have?
Uh, 11 months.
Okay, 11 months. And where are you located right now?
Currently, I'm at Bangalore.
You are at Bangalore. Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, Saurabh, it's great to know about you, and I hope that today's interview you will be doing really very great, and all the best for the interview. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, you was not responding, so I thought my voice was not audible. Okay, so let's start with the interview, and let's start with some easy things. Okay,
Okay.
So, Saurabh, now listen to my question properly and think about it and then answer. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, the question is that you are designing a system, the system for order tracking with frequent updates and reports. Okay. Now, the question is that would you choose SQL or no SQL and why?
Uh, So basically, for designing an uh, order tracking system with frequently update and report, so I would choose SQL as a relational database because it provides strong consistency, structured data storage, and a powerful querying capacity, which are the important for tracking order accurately. And SQL database are basically like MySQL or PostgreSQL support ACID property, ensuring data integrity during frequently update. And mm, and the structure schema helps maintain relationship between orders, customer, and reports clearly.
Okay. Now, you have a query. Okay. And a query becomes slow as data grows. So, what's the first thing you will check before adding the index?
So before adding an index to improve a slow query, I think I first think I would check is the query execute plan or query profile. So this helps me understanding how the database is correctly execute the query and where the bottlenecks are. So I would use tools like explain my post MySQL or Postgres to see if the query is doing full table scan or efficiency join or not. And I would check if the query is filtering or joining or column that are not indexed. And I look any unnecessary or unnecessary part in the query that can be optimized.
That can be optimized. Okay. So now we have a model like a user, the orders, and the payment system. Okay. So this is the model we have, user, orders, and payment system. What would you normalize and what would you denormalize in this?
So in the model, I would normalize the data to reduce redundancy and maintenance data integrity. So, but I would also consider denormalize in the some case for improvement performance. So, as like I would normalize user order payment and item into separate table because they represent a distinct entity with their own attributes. So this help avoid data duplicate and keeps the data consistency. And I would use a foreign key to this table, such a order linked to users.
Like, is
Payment
this
payment linked to order and item linked to orders.
this is the normalized one? And what about denormalize?
So basically, for denormalizations, I would prefer a consistency duplicating some data that is frequently read together to improve query performance and reduce the need of the complex join. So, for example, so in the order table, I might store the snapshot of the username or contact details so that when display ordering summarize, the system does not need to join with the user table every time. And denormalize helps the speed of read heavy operations, especially in reporting or dashboard view where quick access to combined data is important.
Okay. Okay. So the next question is that you are building a service that fetches the data. Okay. Now, now it will fetch the data from 5 external APIs, and then it will write results to a database. So, would you use a sync IO, threads, or multi-processing? Why? Do you want me to paste the question also so that you can also read?
Okay, so question is basically when building a service that fetch data from 5 external API and write result to a database. So would you use asynchronous side thread or multi-processing and why? Am I right?
Yeah, yeah.
So so basically, I would use asynchronous IO for this service because it is well suited for the handling multiple IO bound tasks like fetching data from external API efficiency and fetching data from API is mostly waiting for network response, which is an IO bound operation. So, and asynchronous IO allow the programs to send the multiple requests uh, concurrently without blocking, improving overall throughput and reducing total waiting time.
Waiting profit time. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So look at this code, and in this code, this part, this is CPU heavy. So what's the problem here, and how would you fix it?
Yes. So basically, for fetching data from multiple external APIs, so asynchronous IO is the best choice because the network call are IO bound are and async IO can handle many such tasks efficiently. So basically, here thread can also use for IO bound tasks, but they have more overhead and complexity due to context switching. So multiprocessing is mainly for CPU bound task, not IO bound task like API calls. So basically, we have using asynchronous IO make the service fast and more scalable. Mhm.
So in this code, what do you think the problem is?
So basically, problem is the that the CPU heavy processing is done asynchronously in the same uh, asynchronous IO can handle many block that event loop. So basically, reducing the asynchro IO asynchronous IO and causing delays. So basically, when CPU heavy process run inside a synchronous function, so it prevent over asynchronous task from running concurrently, hunting performance. So to fix this, CPU heavy processing should be offloaded to separated thread or processing so that the uh, asynchronous event loop remain free to handle IO tasks.
Okay. What can you do to fix it? Can you make the changes here?
Import asynchronous. Yes. Data.
Okay.
Yes, the
Okay. Got it. Right. So the next question is that your async app is slower than we expected, even though you are using a wait. What are the top two mistakes that could cause this?
so basically running CPU heavy or blocking a synchronous code inside a synchronous function block that blocks the event loop and after this this prevent other asynchronous tasks from running concurrently, causing delay and reduce throughputs. So, and not properly awaiting a synchronous call or sequentially awaiting.
Mm,
And uh, awaiting synchronous call, one calls one after another sequentially instead of running them concurrently. So this caused the total time to be the sum of the all calls instead of the maximum of their durations.
mm, 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 okay. Okay. Mm, so in which language you're comfortable, like in Python, right?
Yeah, Python.
Mhm. Okay. So let's convert it to Python. So this is the problem statement that you need to design a simple class structure for payment system supporting UPI, credit cards and wallet payments. Can you do that?
Yes.
Do it.
So we can write code here.
Yeah, yeah, you can. Like
So
start from
basically
here.
we have follow the OOP principle. So basically create a base class uh, payment method with a pay method and create a subclass for UPI, credit card, and wallet that inherit from a payment method and implement their own pay logics.
Mm.
Continue. So today our reading. So the class. For example, uh, yeah, it's done.
Okay. Now, can you tell me that, like, would you use inheritance or composition here? Or like, how would you use inheritance or composition here?
So basically, I would use inheritance here because the payment method UPI, credit card, and wallets share a common behavior. The ability to pay inheritance allow use the different base class like a payment method with a common interface payment method and each payment type so can extended this base class and implement it on specific payment logic.
And composition?
And however compositions can also be useful but if payment methods share some common components or behaviors that can be reduced.
That can be reduced. Okay. Can you give me the real example where polymorphism reduce and if else chain in your code? Like we have a code with many if and else, right? Can you give the real example that we have instead of using the if and else in our code, we have used the polymorphism? Can you give the example? Like, can you write it, write and show if you can show a small code.
Yes, so polymorphism is interface. Create a interface. Okay. So can we edit in this code?
Sorry.
Hello. Can you edit in this code?
If you can, if for example, whatever you want to show, just I want to know that how you will be using it.
Basically, so polymorphisms means using the same method name to perform different tasks depending on the object calling it. So
Can you write here a small code with if and else, and then just show me the use of polymorphism? Can you write it here?
okay, if okay, okay, one more case. Yeah, it's done. And so this is the if else case. So can we write the using polymorphism for?
Yes, now show me that how you will be using polymorphism here.
Okay,
I can see that you have written if payment type is equal to UPI, then you have written if else payment type is equal to credit card, right?
right.
Like after if LF, like you will be writing else part also. And if you don't have any like else part, so it should be else part, not LF part, right?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I can see now.
So yeah, it's complete.
Yeah, I can see. Wait a minute, let me read. Okay, okay, done. So now tell me that like what does encapsulation really means in Python?
Uh, Basically, so encapsulation in Python means hiding the internal details of how a class work and only external. So what is the necessity to outside worlds and the data and the method inside a class from beginning or changed directly from outside, which keep the code safe and easier to maintain.
Hmm, right. Okay. Um, so now coming to, okay. Now let me okay paste it for you. So I'll be easy. Okay. So when would you not use state and instead lift state up or use context?
So we will not use this and when state like state basically I would not use state in a single component. So when the state need to be the shared between multiple components, and if two or more sibling components need to access or update the same state, so I would lift state up to their common parent and manage the state there, then pass it down as process. And if the state or data need to be accessed by the many component at different levels of the component, so components tree, so I would use a react context. This avoid uh, passing props through many layers.
And when would you use lift state up?
What
When you will be using lift state up?
let me see. So I use left state when two or more sibling components need to share or update the same state.
Okay. Okay. Uh, okay, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Anything else that's coming to your mind?
Uh, so yeah, when lifting state up, it is important to uh, keep the state as a closure as possible to the component that need it to avoid unnecessary render for unrelated component. Because React constant uh, should be used powerful because updating constant can cause many components to re-render, which might affect performance is not managed well. Yeah.
Okay. So the next question, that can you explain how props, state, and re-rendering works when a parent updates but child does not need to update? Just elaborate this answer and explain for each one of those. Like I want for explanation for props, prostates, and for re-rendering for each three. That when a parent updates but child does not need to get updated.
So basically, question is details how props and state and re-rendering work when a parent update but the child does not need to update. Am I right?
Right.
So firstly, I will be explain the props. Props are read-only data work basically. Yeah. So when the parent re-renders, React call the render functions of the child components as well. So here React compare the child's new props with the previous props. If the props are unchanged, React is keep updating the real DOM for the child.
Okay. Okay. So the next question, like this is the use effect is causing infinite re-render. So this is the code, and tell me why is this happening and how would you design it? First, explain me that why it is happening, and then you redesign it according to you. Okay.
So basically, uh, the huge effect. So huge effect is causing infinite re-renders because it update the states every time counts change, and since count is the dependency array, every time it updates the effect run again, which update count again, and so the create a infinite loop. So how can we fix it? So basically, we should avoid updating the state in a way that trigger the effect indefinitely. Only update state in the use effect if we have a clear spotting conditions, or if we want to effect to run only once.
Hmm. Can you redesign it?
Yeah, basically these run only once when the component mount every dependency array for every dependency array.
Hmm.
So, use or one thing, so we have used a condition to avoid infinite loop. So in this case, use it, only update if count is reduced. Please. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Great. Ah, okay. Remember the fount of the foundation. That is nothing wrong. Okay. Got it. Now, just a communication question to you, Saurabh. The like if you need to explain async programming to a non-technical product manager, so how you will be explaining it to him? Like he don't know any technical terms, so how you will be explaining, simplifying it?
So basically, asynchronous programming is like when someone asks someone to do in a task. So basically, but instead of the waiting for them to finish before. Uh, so, for example, so imagine your order food is a restaurant at a restaurant, and instead of the standing at the counter waiting for your food, so we sit down and do other things like chatting and checking our phones. We do something. So when the food is ready, the waiter calls you. This way we don't waste time waiting and can be productive doing other things.
Okay. Okay, that is async, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now tell me about a time your approach was wrong and you had to change it after a feedback.
Can you repeat the question?
The question is that tell me about a time like when you're working in a company, okay? So you might have made some mistake in the company. So, like your seniors might have given the feedback that it should not be happen in this way, it should be done this, that, and all, right? So, don't tell me the time your approach, like what you approach was wrong, and you had to make the changes after the feedback. Can you explain that scenario?
So I will explain through my uh, current company, for example. So uh, during my internship at Pro, so I was working on building backend API for the future chart integrations. Initially, I designed the API to return a large amount of raw data directly from database, and so I thought this would be efficiency because it avoid extra processing. However, after feedback from the front end team and my mentor, so I realized that this approach caused slow the response time and made the front end render so slugging. So the feedback helped me understanding that sending large data set are not optimal. So I changed my approach to uh, process and regraded the data on the backend using Python. So preparing in the format that the front end or chatting library and the code easily consume.
Okay, okay, okay. So, Saurabh, I'm done with the questions. I don't have any more questions to ask. So, just want to ask you that how was the interview, Saurabh?
I feel the interview was very engaging and fair. So the questions were related to the Python's uh, full stack roles, some more like front end side, and give me a good opportunity to explain my experience and technical skills. So I appreciate the chance to discuss both front end and so most like roots of problems and how can I optimize and write the code. So as well as a problem solving scenario like use effect, infinite loop and API design challenges. Overall, it is a positive experience from my side.
Do you think that you was good in the interview?
Yeah, maybe most I will do more better because my communication is I will improve my communication skills.
I understand. I understand about the communication, but in this interview, for me, obviously communication is important, but for me, the approach is more important, right? Your skills are really very important. So I think you was really very good with the solutions. You were answering everything very correctly. I understand, the because we have our mother tongue, a different native language, and English is
Yeah.
not our first language. I totally understand that. So no need to worry about it. Okay, so like, are you working like on a full stack domain right now?
Yeah, full stack.
Like on the front end and back end both?
Both.
Okay, so don't feel like you don't know English or something like that. If till the moment you can explain your ideas, the moment you can communicate your thought process, everything is okay. Okay, it English doesn't mean that you need to use big words. It's just about the communication. The moment till when you can communicate your process, your thought process, that is totally fine. It's not a big issue. Okay, I like,
Okay.
obviously communication is important, because English is the language, that's a common language. We communicate with every people around the world also. I understand that, but don't make it a big issue, and don't highlight it in any interview that my this is my weakness or something. Don't you have said this to me? That's totally fine. But in other interviews, don't tell that. Don't highlight this part. Okay. So yeah, Saurabh, the interview was really very good, and I hope the result would be in your favor. And yeah, let's wrap up the interview as I don't have anything to say. Do you have any question or concern regarding the interview?
So
The third party who is taking the interview, we will be forwarding your profile to the company, and after that, they will be, choosing you, or it might happen that they will be taking another interview round also. Okay.
okay. Got
Okay. So be well prepared for the next round also, and yeah, all the very best.
okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye. Bye.